And we are back with Ashley, Heino, and Joshua, two of which who were candidates in the most recent provincial election, one who was a candidate in 2022. And with the plethora of problems facing Ontario, from climate change to affordability issues, healthcare to the hottest topic in the news, tariffs, I want to break down what people were saying at the doors to these three lovely people. So, Heino, Hamilton East, Stony Creek, more suburban, bit of industrial in there. What were people saying to you at the doors when you were knocking?
Yeah, I'd say the top three things were healthcare for sure, affordability for sure, and then we have a PC MPP in the area that's been missing in action for 3 years. People don't know who he is. The people who know who he is, they say we never hear back from him when we reach out with our problems. So those were the three biggest topics at the doors.
Awesome. Joshua, Flamborough Glanbrook. Okay, I said it right this time.
You did.
Which looks like a giant, like U, like around Hamilton, okay? So it looks like the best example of gerrymandering. So you got a huge mix of people.
Yeah.
What are people saying to you when you're knocking on doors?
Our issues were a little bit more unique on the economic side. People were concerned about the tariffs about Donald Trump was putting in. People were concerned about their health care still. That was a major issue. And accessibility to our MPP, because Donna Skelly has been MIA every other time except during an election cycle. So people want to have access to their MPP again.
No, okay, that makes sense. So when you ran in 2022, you ran against a heavyweight incumbent. Wayne Gates, the mustache, the man, the myth, the legend, right?
Yeah.
You ran in 2022. It was a very tough election. Niagara Falls, that's a huge mix of like rural and suburban. You got the wine country in Niagara on the Lake. What were people telling you in 22? And how do you feel that was sort of translated or transcended into this election?
It was the same, actually, from that election to this one, because it was such a short period of time that we had Anthony. It was only 2 years, right? And so it is healthcare, and especially with our hospitals, because we had our Port Colborne hospital closed and we had Fort Erie. And so a lot of the residents wanted to be able to have urgent care. They wanted to be able to have their ERs back open. And so with the incumbents being NDP, they did a really great job of coming together down and making sure Merit Styles came to visit the falls and having them speak about returning those services back to 24/7. So healthcare is a major piece. Also inflation, affordable housing is a big one as well for us.
I'm going to say this because I'm a realtor. Everybody knows that. Shameless plug. But you guys had the best housing policy in this past election. Development charges gone. That's millions of dollars back in developers' pockets, lowers the cost of housing. Getting rid of land transfer tax, these stupid, pesky government charges that, in my opinion, not my opinion, they probably go into general coffers. They don't actually really do anything for housing. So I'm hearing healthcare, I'm hearing tariffs, I'm hearing healthcare again, right? But I grew up in Niagara. So was this the election that people said, to hell with the social issues, no more health care, no more nothing, this is about tariffs, this is about Canadian or Ontarian identity? What was it? Tell me.
I think that there was a lot of issues at play this election. At the front of mind for a lot of people was the tariffs, though, at least in my riding in Flamborough Glanbrook, seconded by healthcare and that. People were still concerned about social issues. They're still concerned about their education systems, their healthcare systems, but they were really focused in on the threat from the United States during this election.
Heino, do you feel the same way?
Well, I said affordability was one of the top issues in my area, and housing was a significant part.
I can't believe what houses cost in the industrial sector in Hamilton.
It's nuts. It's crazy. Yeah,
10 years ago, you could buy those things for probably $1.90 or $250 a piece.
Yep.
And now they're selling for $650.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and people also look at the young generations today, right? Because putting down the down payment, let alone affording a mortgage, if you're starting up as a new young family, that's so tough. By the way, add to that youth unemployment has increased from 4% 7 years ago to 20% today. There's just, especially our youth, they're facing such a tough challenge when it comes to affordability. And I think you see some of the challenges with mental health. We also see record homelessness encampments everywhere. It's just a struggle. And I think housing is a core, we need to fix housing to fix some of the issues that we see facing our youth.
Biggest security missing from people is housing, right? Yeah. Keeps them safe and secure. You watched this from sort of the backbench because you didn't run in this election. So was it a missed opportunity for the Liberals to not talk so much about the economy? Bonnie was hammering healthcare and housing. Did she miss an opportunity?
I think before the election was even called, it was really hard to break through, because as far as the PC is saying that they had to defend us against the tariffs, It was all in the news cycles. So you're having a federal leadership race that you're trying to contend with. Then you're talking about tariffs. So even though we were on message as a party about healthcare and trying to get, you know, as many clips as we could or as many.
I got to jump to a commercial. I hate interrupting people. I know we have to pay for the network. We'll be right back after this for segment 3.